the unreal, lead us to the real. From darkness, lead us to light. From death, lead us to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all.
O Lord, you are the sun, you are the moon, you are the sky, you are the air, you are the earth, and you are the fire. You are all in all, you are called by many names, I pray to thee. Tu hi Surya, tu hi Chandra, tu hi Surya, tu hi Chandra, tu hi Agana, tu Pavana, tu hi Apa, tu Akash, tu hai Dharani, Ajah Mana, tu hi Surya, tu hi Chandra, Bhava, Rudra, Ugra, Sarva, Bhava, Rudra, Ugra, Sarva, Pashu, Vadi, Samasa, Mana, Shana, Bhima, Sakala, Ashta, Namatu. Surya, tu hi Chandra, tu hi Surya, tu hi Chandra, tu hi Pavana, tu hi Agana, tu hi Apa, tu Akasha, tu hi Dharani, Ajamana, tu hi Surya, tu hi Chandra, tu hi Surya, tu hi Chandra, Bhava, Rudra, Ugra,
I am reading from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The chapter is The Master and Keshav. The date is October 27, 1882. Sri Ramakrishna. He who is called Brahman by the Jnanis is known as Atman by the Yogis and as Bhagavan by the Bhaktas. The same Brahmin is called priest when worshipping in the temple and cook when preparing a meal in the kitchen. The Jnani, sticking to the path of knowledge, always reasons about the reality, saying, not this, not this. Brahman is neither this nor that. It is neither the universe nor its living beings. Reasoning in this way, the mind becomes steady. Then it disappears and the aspirant goes into Samadhi. This is the knowledge of Brahman. It is the unwavering conviction of the Jnani that Brahman alone is real and the world illusory. All these names and forms are illusory, like a dream. What Brahman is cannot be described. One cannot even say that Brahman is a person. This is the opinion of the Jnanis, the followers of the Vedanta philosophy. But the Bhaktas accept all the states of consciousness. They take the waking state to be real also. They don't think the world to be illusory like a dream. They say that the universe is a manifestation of God's power and glory. God has created all these: sky, stars, moon, sun, mountains, ocean, men, animals. They constitute His glory. He is within us, in our hearts. Again, He is outside. The most advanced devotees say that He Himself has become all this, the 24 cosmic principles, the universe, and all living beings. The devotee of God wants to eat sugar, not to become sugar. Do you know how a lover of God feels? His attitude is, O God, Thou art the master, and I am Thy servant. Thou art the mother, and I am Thy child. Or again, Thou art my father and mother. Thou art the whole, and I am a part. He doesn't like to say, I am Brahman. The yogi seeks to realize the Paramatman, the Supreme Soul. His ideal is the union of the embodied soul and the Supreme Soul. He withdraws his mind from sense objects and tries to concentrate it on the Paramatman. Therefore, during the first stage of his spiritual discipline, he retires into solitude and with undivided attention practices meditation in a fixed posture. But the reality is one and the same. The difference is only in the name. He who is Brahman is verily Atman, and again he is the Bhagavan. He is Brahman to the followers of the path of knowledge, Paramatman to the yogis, and Bhagavan to the lovers of God. It is just like water called in different languages by different names, such as Jal, Pani, and so forth. There are 3 or 4 ghats on a lake. The Hindus who drink water at one place call it Jal. The Musalmans at another place call it Pani. And the English at a third place call it water. All 3 denote one and the same thing, the difference being in the name only. In the same way, some address the reality as Allah, some as God, some as Brahman, some as Kali, and some by other such names as Rama, Jesus, Durga, Hari. Yes. We'll have a short period of meditation and then we'll have the lecture. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Vedanta Society of Toronto. We have today's lecture, Knowing the Arya Samaj Movement by Pandit Vidyarthi Sriram. Pandit Vidyarthi was born and raised in Guyana in a staunch Arya Samaj family. His father and elder brother were Purohits of the Arya Samaj. For the last 20 years, Pandit Vidyarthi has served Arya Samaj in various administrative positions, including secretary prior to becoming a practicing Purohit. He has also taught at many youth camps like Arya Virdal Shiksha Shivir. His involvement is not limited to the Arya Samaj community. Over the past years, Pandit Vidyarthi has represented the larger Hindu community at various events like City of Markham, organ donation drive as the Hindu resource personnel, guest speaker at Durham College World Religions class, officiated at many interfaith services of the Caribbean diaspora. He has also attended numerous training courses conducted by Arya Samaj in Guyana, Canada, USA and India. I now welcome Pandit Ji to the dais.
Please join in these two prayers if you know them. They are projected on the screen. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vitvishavahe. Om Sangachatvam Samvadadvam Samvonanansi Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate. Respected everyone, I thank you again for asking me to speak on knowing the Arya Samaj. It's an organization that's very near and dear to me, having been brought up in the Arya Samaj. I would like to begin by quoting the renowned poet, philosopher, scholar, Dr. Radha Krishnan. He said that, I do not practice religious tolerance because there is nothing that can be so bad with my brother's beliefs that I have to tolerate. So I practice religious respect. And so today I'm equally pleased that we are doing this, that any attempt to understand each other and to celebrate any differences that we may have can only lead to greater understanding of each other and lead to an elevated existence and understanding. So thank you so much. I want to say that some of the things that I may present today may not be in line with the things that some of the perceptions that you may have had of the Arya Samaj. In fact, some of the things may not actually align with Arya Samajis themselves, because they too, perhaps, maybe unwittingly, have moved off, diverted a little from the teachings or the original intent of the Arya Samaj. And I know too that some of the things may not align with the things that you personally believe in, maybe personally or organizationally. So I want to say that I'm not here to condemn, criticize, nor to convert or coerce or anything like that. I'm just here as your honored guest, grateful guest, and as a representative of the Arya Samaj, pure, simple, crystal clear. First of all, Arya Samaj. You may have heard the term before. Arya, as you know, very simple, means noble, a very simplistic meaning, and Samaj means a society in English. But Samaj, Sam means together, and Aj means to move forward. It's that body where everyone moves together. It's sort of like Sabha. Sabha, Bha means to shine, where everyone shines. And when you think about it, it's a little different from the English offered meaning of society. But we use society because of a simplistic approach. But it's where everyone feed on each other and help each other to grow. And so Arya Samaj, and the motto of the Arya Samaj is Krinvanto Vishwam Aryam. And it's taken from a popular mantra that says Indram Vardhanto Aptaraha Abhaghananto Aravana. Indram Vardhanto Aptaraha. That may I, whilst I, or as an individual, strive to grow and to become noble, may I also help others to become noble. And so that motto was taken from that mantra, that phrase, Krinvanto Vishwam Aryam, making the universe noble. The founder of the Arya Samaj, Rishi Dayanand, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, not to be confused with another Swami Dayanand who passed away a few years ago, who was, I think, associated more with the Chinmayana mission. This is a different Swami Dayanand. In the Arya Samaj, we refer to him more so as Rishi Dayanand. He was born in Gujarat. The movement was founded in Bombay on April 10th, 1875. And Swami Dayanand his birth name was Mool Shankar. And he's originally from a village called Tankara in Gujarat. In present day, it's just a little north of Rajkot. If you are familiar with the geography, you perhaps would more than I do, even though I've been there. And based on the name, you can tell Mool Shankar, from his birth name, he was a devotee of Shiva. Him and his father. His father was a tax collector. They were considered very wealthy Brahmin. But Mool Shankar, from earlier days, there were two events in his life. One was, he was a little disenchanted with orthodox Sanatani Pauranic Hinduism. There were some events that he witnessed that didn't seem logical to him. And so because of that, he was disenchanted. And then later on, his sister died, and then his Mamu died. And those two events also really set him back. And he started to question and to ponder about death. And he wanted to know the truth and to find out the truth. Based on those circumstances, one, the event, the disenchantment with Pauranic Hinduism, and also the death of those two relatives of his. And so he went and he left home in search of truth. And he traveled. In fact, one time he was even caught by his father and forced back home, and they tried to get him married and so forth. And I think that he eventually met Guru Virajanand in Rajasthan, and that's where he learned Sanskrit. I'm not too sure if it's a previous slide, but I had a picture also of Swami Dayanand, because sometimes he's confused with esteemed Swami Vivekanand. I was in Jalandhar a few years ago, and somebody said to me, they said that, oh, Arya Samaji, I'll take you to Jalandhar at the market square. They have a statue of Swami Dayanand, and I was very happy, I was excited. And so the next morning I went, and you know, traffic in India, especially in Jalandhar, actually all over the place anyway. And so I stepped out of the car and I took a picture next to the statue of Swami Dayanand, and I was very excited. And then when I got home, when I scrolled into the picture, then I saw at the bottom the inscription that it was Swami Vivekanand. And I said that because I too thought it was Swami Dayanand, and I said that you can fool the eyes of the person, but of the individual, but you can't fool the eyes of the camera. And so then I realized that a lot of people actually in India, and especially in Punjab, where Arya Samaj stronghold, they tend to mix up, especially the non-Arya Samaj, they tend to mix up Swami Vivekanand and Swami Dayanand. But he met, coming back, he met Guru Virjanand, and he learned Sanskrit, Shuddha Sanskrit, original Sanskrit, as Ashtadhyay Panini. And so he learned Vedic interpretation. And then he realized that some of the explanations of Ved, some of the interpretations of Ved, were not actually correct, especially the ones that were rendered by English scholars, those in the westernized, or even the westernized Indian scholars, that it wasn't always correct. And so he realized that it was actually wrong, and Ved was totally different different from some of the messages that were perpetuated. And so his main message, his main focus became back to the Vedas. Now, Swami Dayanand wasn't the only person who said that, and he wasn't the first person who said that. But perhaps what was different is the way he said it and his interpretation of Ved. He said that there are actually, his interpretation was Traitvad, meaning that it's a three-pronged approach, that the Vedas taught soul, God, and matter, or God, soul, matter. That they are actually three eternal entities. And that was the main message, and that was his approach of the whole, of his whole message. And that's when he founded the Arya Samaj, based on that. Now, before I get any further, I want us to look back and understand and appreciate that when Swami Dayanand came on the scene, the Arya Samaj was founded in 1883. And actually 1875, I beg your pardon, he died in 1883. So when the Arya Samaj was founded, when Rishi Dayanand came on the scene, Swami Dayanand, we have to understand and appreciate that obviously it was a big melee. I don't want to call it a mess, but so many different systems and subsystems and beliefs and sub-beliefs that everybody held on to their own thing. And what he did, basically, one of the things that he sought to do was to have a unified message. And how did that happen if we look back? Some people say that, and I'm not here to disagree or agree, some people say that the decline in Dharma actually started from Mahabharata. Some say it's a little before Mahabharata. But whether it's a little before or after, we can appreciate that it's Mahabharata that actually caused even a further decline. And then what happened is that the Brahmins, who were the custodians of knowledge, they tend to interpolate, they put their own explanations to things. And some of the things aren't wholesome. I mean, and I'm not talking here to criticize, but we know that some of the things that they said, they defy human existence and values. And I don't even want to mention some of the things. And they wrote things to suit their own ends. And then they were called the Vam Margi. Vam, as you know, mean left path. They were following the wrong path. And then came the Chardvak. He said, why do you follow them? That there is no religion really, there's nothing like God, right? Just enjoy, lokayata, materialist, just enjoy life. And then, subsequent to that, Buddhism, Jainism came. And they said, no, you can't just do that. It's not an unbridled enjoyment. Think about other people and think about your own well-being and think about your next life. But God was lost in the process until Shankaracharya came and he said, hey, hold on a minute. There's also God in the equation. That all I see is God. And each one actually reacting to the other. So subsequently, by the time the 1800, there were so many systems and subsystems, Shivite and Vaishnavite, and so many different systems. And each one, and then besides that in India then too, Islam and Christianity and so also were even prevalent then, by then. So what Swami Dayanand did, he tended to form a universal teaching, and he said that regardless whether you are Benares Brahmin, or you're Kashmiri Pandit, or you're from Rajasthani Vaishnava, or you're from the south, that here is a system that can work for everyone, a system that's common, and it wouldn't go against the grain of what you believe in. And his message, one of the main message of him was truth. And I would like to quote, if I'm there, some of his words I would like to quote verbatim. He said that truth is that which is the same in all ages, past, present, future. That alone I have certified as acceptable. I entertain no idea of founding a new sect. I proclaim no concept or belief of my own. All he said, in other words, is that I'm going back to the veil. Let us give up narrow views and start deep study and research of our own beliefs and practices so that our eyes can open to the truth. Let us accept what is valid and discard that which does not stand the test of truth. And in suggesting this approach, it is not my intention to hurt anyone's feeling. Nahi prayojana, chitta dukhana. That's what he said in simple Sanskrit. Kevala eka prayojana mera. My only objective, hoya ujira, is to replace nite and hera, to replace light with darkness. That was my, and so his whole, I don't want to use the word obsession, but his whole mission was on truth, is that he wanted people to discover the truth. And he said that if we have differences of belief, if it cannot stand the universal test of truth, then we should reject it. And this is how he defined truth. He said, he went based on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. He said that truth is presenting something as is. And he quoted, he said that, from the Yoga Darshan of Patanjali, he said, Anitya Asuchi, Dukha Anatma, Nitya Suchi, Sukha Atma, Kyatir Avidya. That is ignorance, that is falsehood, that is not truth. When we think that things that are anitya, things that are actually temporary, we think them to be nitya, to be eternal. When things that are actually impure, we think that they're pure. Things that are painful, we think that they're actually pleasant. And so forth. And when we think that the non-soul aspect are actually the soul, and that's actually ignorance. And he said further that it must stand the litmus test of 5 things. It must be according to God and the veil. It must not go against the grain of the nature, the attributes of God. It must not go against what veil teaches. And if there is a disparity, let's go back to veil. And he says that it must be according to the virtuous souls, those who are unbiased, those rishis that had no affiliation really except to God. Let's go with what they say. He said, and he used the phrase Abtaha Upadeshana Shabdaha, that the words of the enlightened person is the highest, Upadesh, it's the highest form. And he said that also it should be not against your personal conviction, and it should also be according to Ashtapraman. Ashtapraman is from the Nyaya Darshan of Gautama. And Ashtapraman also is a philosophy in itself. This would take another long lesson to talk about, but I'll just give you an example of Ashtapraman. Praman, as you know, means evidence, 8 evidences. He said that this is not Rishi Dayanand's own beliefs. He's quoting from the Nyaya Darshan. He says that, for example, 3 of them, he said that How do we know that something is truth? Through our senses. If we can see it, we can hear it, we can feel it, we can touch it, so forth. Right? We can smell it. Then we know that it's truth. So the senses should be clear. We should always keep the senses clear. And if we, pratyaksha praman, if we are able to decipher that, then it's truth. And then he said anuman, inference. Based on nyaya. This is very, very different kind of philosophy. He says anuman, inference. You know, we step out here and we see water on the road. What do we infer? We infer that it was raining, right? We see a child and we infer that they were parents, right? So that's an inference. That's how we know that something is true. And if it doesn't concur with that, then it's not truth. And also comparison. We can compare two things. You tell me, when you come here in the morning, Panditji, you will meet Abhijit. And I don't know what he looks like. I've never seen him before. But they say he looks like, so like Devrat. And I know Devrat. So when I see, I make a comparison. And that's called upaman, comparing things. And these are only 3 examples of the Ashtapraman. And so Rishi Dayanand, he actually promoted these. He said that this is how we can tell truth from untruth, by working with this. And he said also that I'm sorry, I lost my my notes here. I'll just go back into my email, and I'm very sorry about that. I would like for us to talk about the outline of his beliefs. I will skip the notes, it's okay, I'm okay with that. The outline of his beliefs. I'll just turn this on, is that okay? He says that there's only one God. He's Sat Chit Anand. He's existent, intelligent, and blissful. There are numerous souls. God fashions the world out of matter in an effort to achieve mukti, to achieve freedom. The soul will take different births, and that can take many different lifespan. One God, that was the main trust, one of his main messages, right? One God, different names, and I think we all know that. Achieving freedom can take many lifetimes. But he said also, this is very important, and this is Arya Samaj perspective. He says, based on Ved, that when the soul gains mukti, it does not merge with God. And the reason he says that even mukti comes to an end, because anything has an end. If there's a beginning, there will be an ending, right? If it goes down, it will come up back. It's the natural law. Whatever is born will die. And so he says that even the process of mukti, even that ultimate freedom, also comes to an end. And he gave a timeline, but I'm not here to get into the details of that, right? But he said that even that also comes to an end. That mukti also comes to an end. And because it comes to an end, and the soul needs to return, to take birth again, then it does not merge with God. And he gave an example. He said that if you have an iron ball and you put it in the fire and you heat that iron ball, the iron ball would absorb the properties of the fire. And at one time, we, as an observer, we wouldn't be able to distinguish which is the iron ball and which is the fire, because the two look so close. And so he says that similarly, when the soul achieves liberation, mukti, freedom, that it looks like God, but it does not become, because there are 3 separate, distinct entities. And he talked about sanskar and yajna and yoga, and those are the tools for freedom. If we can go to the next slide. It's funny how we depend on technology and sometimes it fails us. Thank you for your patience. And so some of the universal beliefs that he talked about Sandhya. I know most people who speak Hindi, Sandhya means morning, right? Or afternoon, which one? Evening. As you can tell, I'm not Hindi speaker. I was born and raised in Guyana. I fortunate to learn some Sanskrit, but Hindi has always evaded me. But Sandhya Upasana, Rishi Dayananda was a yogi, and he said that we should meditate. And Sandhya comes from the root sam. Sam means to think in an orderly manner. And dhyayi, as you know, dhyana means to think, to concentrate. So he said it's actually to think in a programmed manner. And if you think about it, we can think before we speak, and we can think before we act. Like I can think, what should I say next? I can think whether I want to step down or, we can all do that. But we cannot think before we think. Think about it. We cannot think before we think. And so, Sandhya is that process of helping us to think in an elevated manner. To program our thinking, to elevate our thinking process. And why do I say, or why would we say, that we need to think better? The fact that we err, the fact that we make mistakes, means that we do not always think logically. We err, don't we? So it means that we make mistakes sometimes. And because of that, we need to think better. And so Sandhya is that process. And Sandhya is very long. When I say long, to explain it, the chanting of the mantras takes about 8-10 minutes. But I just want to explain to you 2 parts of the Sandhya that would be very, very useful. One is called Agha Marshanam. Agha means sin, and Marshanam means to crush, to rub into nothingness, to rub your sins into nothingness. He says that if you do Sandhya in Agha Marshana, the tendency to sin would not be there. And I read one Acharya who said that the word sin, pa means to drink, pa means not, and pa again means to drink. So to drink what shouldn't be drunk, in other words, to do what should not be done, that is really sin. To go against the grain of the norm, and that's sin, to do the things that we shouldn't engage in. But the rishis offer, why do people sin? Why do people commit mistakes? And they said there are 2 reasons why people do that. One is called abhiman, you know that word, and one is called avaman. Abhiman is a false sense of pride, where we feel that we're above. Man means respect, abhi means above. Superiority complex, you know what, they can't get me, because I am above them. I'm above the rest, so I feel I can break laws. And we see that sometimes where people who are CEOs, etc., or certain high political offices, they feel that they cannot be caught. And sometimes low people too, avaman, when you feel disenfranchised, right? When you feel that you're on the lower rung, you feel you can break the laws because you're not deserving. And we see that. We see that in many examples we can probably quote, but we don't want, time. And so, avaman and abhiman, inferiority complex, superiority complex, cause us to sin. And so they say, there's a part in the Sandhya where you sit and you meditate and you say, Ritam Satyam Cha, that God created this world and He created this the way He did, all the creation, and this world is created for me as a soul so that I can use to achieve mukti. And I'm important, I'm a part of this process. And so if I'm important, the other person is also important. And so I see myself belonging. I don't think that I'm above and I don't think that I'm below. And so my tendency now to sin gets erased. Abhiman. Agha Marshanam. You follow me, right? my style of presenting is a little different. Sometimes I look for a little, I guess it's the classroom, not that I'm a teacher, but I'm a lot with children. Manasa parikrama also. Manasa is the mind, manas mean the mind, parikrama means to circumambulate, to go around. Pari, like perimeter, right? Sometimes Sanskrit it's a little easy to learn, right? Because you can make relationship or association of certain words. Perimeter, periscope. So parikrama means to go around. So I mentally go around this universe. I sit and I look at it and I look north, I look east, and I see God. How do I see Him? I don't see Him physically, but I see the bounties, the things that He has given. And I realize, Yuasman Dveshtiyam Vayam, that you are there, I can't go east. And then I turn and I go, I mentally look south. And then I see God again. I see His bounties. West, north, nay, I even look below. And I look above and I realize that I'm so surrounded by Him. And there's nowhere for me to go, that He created this for me. All the bounties that He has given. And who am I really? That and I say, Yuasman Dveshtiyam Vayam Dushmastam Vojam Dadmaha. Whatever. In Hindi it says, Hamabara Bara Bhagavan Karate Tumhe Namaste Yadi Dvesha Bhavana Ho To Nyayate Vihasate. Whatever ill feelings may be for me, that I may have for anyone or they may have for me, may I, Yuasman, in your court, I leave it up to you. Let me not judge or let me not seek to extract justice. And so that's Manasa Parikrama. I have roughly about 15 minutes more. It takes us to Yajya. I know some of you would say Yajya, we shouldn't let that divide us. But Yajya Vaishveshvanam Karma, that all good actions are actually Yajya. The highest action, your best action, when you put your best foot forward, that's Yajya. When you sacrifice your personal self-interest or even comfort for others, that's Yajya. That's the highest action. And Yaj come from, there are three roots, Deva Puja, Sangati Karana, and Dan. As long as we have these three elements, Yajya is happening. Let's look at some example. The mother in the home, she has many children. She loves each child equally. And she shares with each one of them. She doesn't say, okay, I like Neil a little more than Arvind. Right? She likes all the children equally. And she shares with them, and they in turn reciprocate that love. And she brings them together, don't have any hatred for each other. That's Yajya. Mother Earth, Prithvi Deva Yajani. The earth also performs Yajya, holds everybody together. The earth doesn't say, you know what, this is a mango plant and that's a banana, I wouldn't allow you to grow. It holds everybody together and it shares its resources. And that's an example of Yajya. Havan that we perform is actually a type of Yajya. The Havan that we do. In Arya Samaj we do Havan. It's also called Havan Homa, Hotra, Agnihotra. There are a few other words that they use for it. But Havan comes from Hu. Ha-U. Lambi Matra. Ha-U. Hu means Dan, Adan. Dan to give, Adan to receive. In life, everything that we do is giving or receiving. Everything that we do, we are always giving and receiving. Think about it. We are always giving something or we are receiving something. If we receive more than we give, it's negative. And if we give more, then it's positive. So we want to ensure that our lives are positive. It's yajik, if I may use that word. It's in consonant with yajya. It's positive, and so we should aim to give more than we receive. And so the fire, one of the symbolisms of it, is that whatever we offer unto it, it gives back. It does not keep. And we offer the best unto the fire. The samagri, the ghee, everything is pure, clean, nutritious, sweet-smelling. The whole works. And the fire, even though given to it, it doesn't keep it. It gives it back. It disintegrates it and it gives it back. And so whatever I offer, this body is also like the kund. Whatever I offer here, right? My thoughts, my actions, my emotions, I should also do it the same way. The fire, we offer our impurities, burns it, gives us back a pure personality. Those are some of the simple meaning of the heaven. And then there is stuti, prarthana, upasana, or prayer, if you may. Rishi Nayanan actually coined this word. Stuti means praise. He said that prayers generally involves stuti, and stuti means praise. What is stuti? What is praise? P-R-A-I-S-E. What is praise really? It's an acknowledgement. It's a gratitude. You know, if I say, I like your shirt, what am I saying? That it's cool. May I have one also? Right? That's what it's an auto-suggestion. So in stuti, when we stutify God, we say, oh, you're the creator, you're the giver of happiness, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, you're so many positive things. May I also strive to be like that. Stuti. And that's what stuti is. I align my qualities with you. I aim to be like you. Of course, I can't become you, but I would elevate my existence. And so that's what stuti is. And prarthana. It's like if you go for a job, they ask you, why do you want to work here? And you say, well, I like your hours, I like your benefit scheme, I like your flexibility, whatever, right? You're giving them stuti. If you go to the bank for a loan and you say, well, I like your interest rate, I like your terms of repayment, blah, blah, blah. That's stuti, right? That's you're praising them. And then when you get that loan or you get that job, it becomes upasana. You become one now with your objective. So stuti, I praise, I acknowledge the qualities in God, and then I said, may I have them also, may I have these aspects also. These are my legitimate needs. And when I get them, I receive upa asana. Upa, as you know, means near, and asana to sit. I sit near. In other words, I become one with my objective. And that's stuti, prarthana, upasana. Then it brings us to sanskar. A child is born after so many lifespan. We don't know where the child came from, what was the past. In fact, our own selves, we don't know, right? Obviously. So sanskar is a process of rejuvenating the child. So many births, so many experiences, so many thoughts keep going through our head all the time, and they influence us. We tend to act based on those. It's simple. It's an impression. It means an impression. It's if we step out and there's snow, and you see some footsteps, and you go to walk next, right? Let's say you're using that path, and the first day you made a path through the snow. The next day you tend to use back the same footstep, and the third day and the fourth day you tend to go back. We tend to follow the same path, right? And that's how in life is that we tend to follow a path based on our sanskar, based on impressions. So sanskar here has two meanings. One, it means the impression that is created, but it also means the purification process. How do I now purify myself of whatever impure impressions I may have had in the past? And so Rishi Nayanan, quoting Manu, he said, there are quite a few quotes there. Janmana jayate shudraha sanskarara vijya uchyate. That we are all born impure, but may sanskar purify us. And there are 16 of them, 16 sanskar that's created. It's like, if you look at it this way, it's like you're using your device all the time and you're surfing. You don't know what site you may have gone to or who may have infected it. So you take it one day and you run a program to clean it out, right? To take out whatever infections and viruses may be there. Or you can do it with your body using analogy we can take, right? So similarly, the sanskar process is to get rid of those unwanted impressions that we may have acquired, and there are 16 of them. 3 are actually prenatal, even from the time of conception. Before conception, when people are actually even only thinking about getting together and giving birth, they do a sanskar, garbhadana. And then the punsavan, and when you think about it, it's so scientific because it's in sync with medical science. At the end of the third month, when the child is now, the limbs are so developed again. Now the couple sit together and they pray that may my child have strong limbs, develop limbs, and develop into a strong, healthy human body. And then this semantonayana, when the child is in the 6th month, right? The impressions are created, and this is something that only Western the Western science is only now understanding this, or now concurring that there are actually impressions created when the child is in the fetal form. But long now, look how long now our rishis knew that. They said that the impressions, and we know that, right? The son of Abhimanyu, right? He knew the whole war and how the formation was made, right? You know that story, obviously. So, and then when the child is born, there's Jata Karma, Nam Karma. Giving the child a name is important. It's not like you're not going to call you Chris or Peter or Boise or something like that, right? Its name has a meaning, and a purpose, and a function. And each one is important, even going into studies. The Janel, Yechikavit. And there's so many symbolisms, but obviously we can't get to that, it's beyond the scope. Post-education, when the child, only person who is eligible should get married. And we think that yes, everybody gets married, in all culture they do, but in this circumstances, getting married is not just for worldly purposes in terms of pleasure, but it's also to create and to have a family, to civic duties, discharging of civic duties. So it's a different game altogether. But if we were to look at this holistically, now from a macro perspective, we see that most of these sanskars are actually done when the child is small, right? Most of them, because that's when we're more impressionable. When, as the individual ages, it becomes set now almost in their ways, and it becomes more difficult to train. So when they're more impressionable, all these sanskars are done. You know what? I'm going to give you, you will install a Janiya, we will do this to you, we will Samavartana, and so forth. And so that's the sanskar. And then there is Panch Mahayajya. You probably know this, right? 5 daily duties, Brahmayajya, service to God, right? Service to God, studying His works, Sandhya, studying, elevating myself, Sandhya Upasana, Pitriyajya, service to our parents, our elders. Right? It's really important, and sometimes people feel that it's actually overdone. But I will skip it, because perhaps it is today. Devayajya, our duty to the environment. We do how one part of it is to purify the environment. Long before, DiCaprio became cool and known as the environmental guru, and what's the former vice president, Mr. Gore, long before then, our rishis talked about purification of the environment and be conscious of the environment. Right? So, Atiti Yajya, service to guests, and not only people that you invite, but people that drop in unexpectedly, people who serve society. Bali Vaishyadev, Bhutyajya, right? Our duty, daily duty to those who are disenfranchised. Sometimes it's used to mean duties to animal, lower kingdom, but not only them. Even people in the lower rung of society. Bali Vaishyadev. Bali means share, and Vaishya means those who are entitled, right? So those who are Vaishya cannot help themselves, sorry. So those who cannot help themselves, they are also entitled. We should help them to get them, those who cannot. Right? And so that's Panch Mahayajya. There's also Prashtana Tri, threefold approach, Gyan, Karma, and Upasana. I would skip that because I think that might be common to most of the systems. I just have 2 more slides, probably about 5 minutes or so, and I would wrap up. But I want to pinpoint to you some of the earlier followers of the Arya Samaj. Pandit Vidyarthi, I think he was I am his namesake or he's my namesake? I am his namesake, right? He was one of the earlier followers of Rishidayananda. He actually witnessed the death of Swamiji. And I'll tell you a quick story, and it's interesting, it's very inspirational, I would hope. But he was a brilliant young man, very, very sharp, very, very brilliant mind. And he used to argue with Swami Dayanand. He used to have when I say argument, a debate about God and the existence of God. And of course Swamiji was equipped because he had all the knowledge. But he was this brilliant young man, and it was very healthy, hard to debate. And at the end of the debate, he used to say, Swamiji, you have won the debate because of your knowledge, but I'm still not convinced. And Swamiji's answer was that it's not up to me to convince you. It's up to you and God. And when the time is ready, it will happen. And he still remained a skeptic, a cynic all his life. And he was young, probably about 18 or so. But he was still enthralled with Swami Dayanand's disposition and demeanor, swabhav. And so he used to follow him, even though he didn't agree with the quote-unquote, as we would say, the God thing. And when Swamiji was dying, right, he hid behind the curtains and he saw this person dying, and he saw how relaxed and how cool he was. And all he did is that he chanted, Om. When you and I pant and we holler and we bawl and we say, oh my God, where's my dad? That's the normal process. Help him, right? But here was this man who was very relaxed, very calm. And that actually changed Guru Vidyarthi. He said there has to be something beyond the reasoning. Very beautiful story. Lala Lajpat Rai, as you know him, sometimes in some circles, the Lion of Punjab, he was associated with the independence movement, and he had his followers, Chandrasekhar Azad and Bhagat Singh and so forth. Swami Shraddhanand, he was one of the close followers, Gurukul Kangri in Haridwar, Gurukul Kangri, and he also did the Shuddhi movement, of reconverting those who may have left, accepting back into the fold, because some of the Pandits and the Acharyas, they said that if you changed and you came back, you were considered Ashuddha. They didn't want to accept them back into the Hindu fold. And Pandit Lekram was a police officer in Punjab, and he used to go to the border and fight, right? Unofficially, not as a policeman. And one day he was leaving, and he said that, and then his mother said, where are you going? That your son is sick. You just came, I know you're going back. Your son is sick, right? And he said, I'm going to save many more sons. That's how committed these people were, passionate to the cause. Swami Shraddhanand actually, there's a story about him that he actually went to one of the meetings to argue with Swami Dayanand. He said, I'm going to go there. First time somebody told him you should go, right? And he said, oh, okay, as you insist. His father, as you insist, I'll go, but I'll put him in his place. He was a lawyer, actually, very brilliant. But when he went, he actually got, convinced. Mahans Raj, as you know him, the DAV schools are popular in India. He formed the DAV schools. And these are some of the followers, early followers of Arya Samaj. I hope you have, in want of a better word, enjoyed the presentation. I hope you have found it beneficial, useful. If you do, or if you have any questions, I believe that your forum doesn't allow that, but feel free to, you can connect with me at some point in time, or even outside of here, and let me know. I'm Vidyarthi, I'm still a student, but I'll be happy to find you any answer that I can give. Once again, I sincerely thank you for listening, for coming, and for us together to examine the Arya Samaj. I would close with one quote from Arya Samaj, from Maharishi Gandhi. He said that when he was asked, and it's there, what is your religion? He said, I wish for them to worship one God, follow Vedic laws, and to do good actions. It's universal, regardless. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.